In this video, we'll be hunting 2 boxes of pennies, as well as seeing if we can make any progress to the Penny Hunt and Fill album. Of course, we'll be looking for any wheat scents from 1958 or older. We'll also be looking for any proofs, foreigns, air reserve varieties, or any other interesting things we can find, as well as setting aside any copper pennies we get and seeing how much we can fill the copper jar. I have checked for enders for both boxes. We do have 2 enders in the first box and 1 in the second. First box, we do have a wheat scent ender, as well as a Canadian ender right there. And in the second box, we have a Canadian ender as well near the end. So 3 enders, that's a pretty good sign, especially one being a wheat scent. These types of rolls have been the ones that have been really hot for me lately. I've been doing really well in pennies. Let's hope that can continue in this video. So let's start the hunt on penny box number 1, and I'll bring you in on the first find. First roll in box number 1 is going to get off to a great start. I did already pull a Modern Canadian, and I just uncovered the first wheat scent of the hunt only in roll 1. This one is just a last year, 1958 from Denver. Just opened roll number 4, and we're already going to have the second wheat scent of the hunt. Just open the roll, and you see the reverse of it right here. And wheat scent number 2 is a 1945 from Denver. Roll number 9, and I think wheat scent number 3 of the hunt is going to be an oldie. I just uncovered it, haven't taken too close of a look, but it looks super worn. And it is an oldie. It's a 1919 out of Philly. Super worn. We already do have this one for the album. The 1919 is a pretty common year. But yeah, this one is super slick, super worn. Still awesome to find a wheat scent that's over 100 years old. Roll 11, and I just uncovered wheat scent number 4. Box number 1 definitely getting off to a great start with already 4 wheat scents and 11 rolls. Wheat scent number 4 is a 1950 from Philly. Just open the next roll. Now we're going to be up to 5 wheat scents because I see the edge of the 5th one right here. And wheat scent 5, it's pretty nice shape, probably from the 50s. Yep, it's just a 1958 from Denver. Next roll once again, and this is our 3rd roll in a row with a wheat scent, which is pretty cool. This is the 6th one of the box, and it is 1945 out of Philly. Roll 18, just a few coins in. We're going to have wheat scent number 7 for the box. Looks pretty damaged, but it is 1944 out of Denver. Just opened roll 23, and I saw the edges of 2 Canadian scents, and I looked at the edge of the first one. We're going to have a King George Canadian. Pull out this one first, the one I haven't seen yet. And it's just a modern one, a 1978, but this one right here, I looked at the date. It's a 1949, which means this is going to be a King George VI Canadian scent. Super cool to find an older Canadian in the box. Roll 32 was our wheat scent under for the box, and it's actually our first wheat scent in a while. The box cooled down for quite a few rolls, but here it is, and it's wheat scent number 8 for the box, and it is a 1945 from San Francisco. Roll 39, and I just uncovered wheat scent number 9 for the box, so now we're only 1 away from double digits. Wheat scent number 9 is a 1952 out of Denver. Roll 41, and we are going to make double-digit wheat scents for box number 1 because I did just uncover wheat scent number 10, and it is another 1958 from Denver. Roll 49, and I just uncovered the 11th wheat scent of the box. It is going to be another one from the 40s, a 1940 out of Philly. Box 1 has been hunted, and it was definitely a good box. We got off to a super hot start. Did kind of cool down for the last 30 or 40 rolls, but we still did get 11 wheat scents, which is great for the box. The oldest and best find being that 1919 out of Philly. Pretty common, but always great to see a wheat scent over 100 years old, which is super awesome to find. Did also get 12 Canadians as well, the best one definitely being that 1949 King George VI. Definitely cool to see one of those as well. So 11 wheats, 12 Canadians, definitely a great start to the hunt for box number 1. Now let's move on to box number 2, and hopefully we can get some more great finds. Box number 2 is going to give us the first wheat scent in roll number 2 because I just opened the roll, and I see the wheat scent right here, first for the second box, and it's going to be 1951 out of Philly. Just opened roll number 8, and I see the edge of the second wheat scent for box 2 near the back of the roll right here. And it does have some gunk on it, but it is probably a 1951 Denver. Just opened roll 12, and we're going to have a couple of finds in this roll. First, I do want to correct myself. That last wheat cent's actually 1958 Denver. There is an 8 under that gunk that I didn't see, but I bring you in because I just opened this roll. I see a wheat cent right there, and I see a modern Canadian, which I'll pull out since I already have it here. And it's just going to be 1991, but this wheat cent is going to be the third for box 2 already in 12 rolls, and it's going to be a 1944 out of Philly. Just opened roll 15, and I see the edge of wheat cent number 4 for box 2. It's right in the middle of the roll, right here. And the fourth wheat cent of the second box is another 1958 Denver. Next roll, and once again, I see the edge of another wheat cent near the middle of the roll. And this one's going to be number 5 for the box, right here. And this one's a little more worn, probably just from the 40s. Nope, and it's just a worn 1955 Denver. Roll 18, and once again we're going to have another wheat cent for the box, and this is going to make 6 for the box already. Definitely getting off to a great start. And this wheat cent is a 1956 out of Denver. Roll 23, and I just uncovered wheat cent number 7 for box 2. This one is from 1940, and it is minted in San Francisco. Roll 40, and we're finally going to have another find. Just like the last box, the last few rolls are cooling down, but I just opened this roll and I do see the edge of the 8th wheat cent for this box. Hopefully we can get 2 more to make double digits for box 2, and this wheat cent is a 1956 from Denver. Next roll, and I just opened the roll, and we're going to have another wheat cent yet again. This one is 1 away from being an ender in the back, and it's number 9 for box 2. It's pretty corroded, but it is a 1948 out of Philly. Both penny boxes have been hunted, so let's go over the finds. We ended up with 11 1959s, 21 Esmonds, and 26 2009s. Canadians, we ended up with 21, which is definitely more than I've been getting recently, including one old one, which was a 1949 King George VI, which is definitely super cool to find. Now, for the wheat cents, we ended up with 20 for the 2 boxes. We did just fail to get double digits for box 2, but we did get 11 in box 1, so we averaged 10 wheat cents a box, which is pretty good for the hunt. Most are just common 40s and 50s, but did get one oldie for the hunt, which was probably the best find of the hunt, a 1919 out of Philly. It's a pretty common year, already out for the album, but still, always super cool to find a wheat cent in the teens. Now lastly, for copper, slightly lighter than I usually get for the 2 boxes, probably about 3/4 of the way full for the copper jar. Usually get slightly more than that, but still definitely a good amount of copper for 2 boxes. And now I'm going to go through the finds and see if we can make album progress. I don't think we're going to have any additions, but we'll see. We'll see if we have any upgrades as well. So I'll bring you back with an update for the album. Just finished comparing all the finds to the album, and as expected, we did not have any additions to the album, unfortunately. We've had a lot in the last few episodes. We've gotten pretty lucky, but we did not get as lucky in this episode. But we did end up with 2 upgrades, which isn't too bad. First upgrade we had was on the 1945 San Francisco. The one before was pretty worn. This one was definitely an upgrade. And the second upgrade was the 1973S. The one before is more brown. This one definitely could still be upgraded. The 73S, probably one of the worst memorial scents we have in the album. Still have a BU red one of those, but at least we did get a slight upgrade on that. So 2 upgrades, not too bad for being so far in the series. Getting pretty hard to make additions at this point. Most of the things we need are pre-40s. And besides the steel scents, we only need a few more from the 40s and 50s. Just some tougher to get San Francisco mints, but definitely possible. A little surprised we haven't gotten one yet in this, how far we've gotten in the series. But we'll get them eventually as I continue the series. And again, most of the things we need are pre-40s, and those can be pretty tough, especially the semi-key and key dates being almost impossible to find in circulation. But either way, 2 boxes hunted. We did get 20 wheats, which is an average 10 per box. Definitely 2 pretty good boxes, and we did get a couple upgrades to the album. And overall, this was still a fun 2-box penny hunt